you hear the cracking, popping? That's my joints. Usually 40 years, you gotta warm up. When I was 14, the whole reason why I started lifting weights, there was an old weight set in my stepdad's garage. One of those plastic weight sets, so I brought that into my room, and that was more of an escape. I got out of high school, it was something like, it turned into a love. Like I loved lifting, I loved the way it made me feel. And I didn't have any stress of like being perfect with my training. I just went and trained hard. Like that was good enough for me. I didn't have to be perfect as far as programming or anything like that. And same thing with diet, I just ate whatever food I wanted. If I would have told that 14-year-old kid, like, you don't have to bench 300 pounds by next week. You know, it's okay if you just do the bar for now. Make sure the bar is controlled, because when you have more control, this is an overall better environment. Like anything you do in life where if you're more controlled, you're just gonna make wiser decisions. That's how long they've been sitting here. They're stuck. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
This one is here. This was 1992. I was 21 here. I was like 190 pounds. This was coming right back after I was in Arizona for trade school. These were down at the Carmel Beach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was 24 here. And then this is in my dad's backyard. I was 22 getting ready for my first season, 1993. That was me trying to be super sexy at 22. This was at the first gym I've ever been to, and that's Bob's Gym in Fremont, California. So Bob's Gym is, Bob Parado is the owner of Bob's Gym, and he promoted the very first Mr. Fremont, Ed Corney from Pump and Iron, won that show. And then he became the head judge of the show. So, and then Ed Corney trained at Bob's Gym. So that's basically like where my roots are at. That's why posing for me is like super important, because I'm gonna get in front of Ed Corney, considered one of the best posers of all time. The famous teenage shot right there. This is actually the original picture. So that I was 17 years old there. I didn't measure at that time, but it was pretty, I was probably close to 16. That was 1989. No back. This was again coming off of when I went to Arizona for trade school. I didn't lift for about probably close to a year because I couldn't afford it. And then when I got back into training, this was probably like maybe a year after that. So this one was like 190 pounds.
Flat top.
Probably a flat top.
Yeah.
But once I got into competitive bodybuilding, then all of a sudden it's like you're chasing like the optimal. Like it's all of a sudden you're like, you have to be doing things according to X, Y, and Z. And it started to take away the enjoyment. It was like I turned into this obsessive asshole. Just everything evolved around bodybuilding. All my conversations evolved around bodybuilding. That's what I kind of wish I could go back in time, like get into it from a different perspective, a healthier perspective. I think I wish I would have been in the mindset of having more fun and more relaxed. So I was too serious about progress. So I always felt pressure, and that pressure turned to stress. Never feeling like I was ever content. I was always like, I could have did it better. Like I remember at night, I would think like, I could have did one more rep. Maybe I could have shaved off 100 more calories there. Like I was always just trying to optimize things. This is when I actually started competing, but this was my very first show. It was the Modesto Bodybuilding Championships. Free pizza and beer. There you go, see that? This is crazy to me looking back, because I haven't looked at these pictures in a long time. I lost 30 pounds in 6 weeks for this, because I didn't know about this show. Like maybe it was 6 weeks prior, I saw this flyer here. This is actually the flyer on the gym wall. Oh, there's a show. I'm gonna get ready for that. Wow. So I had no clue as far as like how to set up a timeline. Yeah. So I lost 30 pounds in 6 weeks. And then this second show, this was in September. I was improved. So I ended up winning Junior Mr. Fremont. That was like my first win. And then so back then, no internet, right? So it's like, if you got your picture in the newspaper, you were the shit. Yeah. And then this was a show in Napa that I did, a small show. I ended up winning the lightweight class. And then this was Mr. Fremont in 94, but I got best poser. It was like, they did it like class 1, class 2. There was no like weight or height. They kind of just like, you sign up, they just break it at the halfway point. So I won the first class, and then I lost the overall. And there's Ed Corney, because he would be the head judge and the guest poser of the show. But you guys, I'm not gonna go through all of it, but you can see like it's just extensive. Like just so many years I did it. When I learned about HIIT training, and then I trained that way for 16 years. So from 92 all the way till 2010, 18 years, I trained with HIIT. So I'd have guys at the auto plant that would train. They would like, we would go back and forth, high volume, low volume, high intensity. I was like, no, that's not how you do it, man. Yeah. So I'd always tell them, come train with me. I'll show you. I'll show you. So it was like the ego, like I was defending HIIT, defending my identity in a sense. I would say the humble pie came when I met Alberto and Eric and Brad. And they're like, Eric's like, Jeff, why don't you try a little more volume? You don't have to go balls to the wall on everything. Alberto challenging me with flexible dieting, because I was very rigid on the dieting side. You can get so caught up in a camp. And I think it really does slow down your ability to make good progress. Not just with bodybuilding, but just life in general. It's almost like the maturity level it just keeps getting better and better and better. So I'm more relaxed in my approach. Like I don't stress after the end of a training session like I didn't do enough. We're going failure on everything today. This was my first time going at it. No, my second time going out of state. So I went to the INBF Texas Shredder Classic. This one taught me to have fun, because this particular season, it was like 14 weeks of perfect prep. Like I didn't cheat on my diet. I missed one cardio session, that was it. Just grinding, and I got pretty peeled for it, and then I lost by 1 point. I got depressed after that. All in hindsight now, but it took me about 6-7 years to really kind of gain a passion for it again. So that way when I came back in 2009, it was more about having fun, enjoying the journey. Why I named 3D Muscle Journey, 3D Muscle Journey. It allowed me to meet the other coaches. And from there, obviously, we formed a pretty good team. The next 40 years, I'll still be lifting at 94. And I'll still be saying the same thing. I'm trying to get bigger. My goal when I turn 55, so on my birthday, I'm going to IHOP, International House of Pancakes. I'm getting my pancakes at a senior discount, but I'm gonna wear a tank top and look jacked. That's my goal in the next 6 or so, let's see, I'll be 55 in June, so 7 months. A lot of my bodybuilding is catered more towards the family dynamic. That's a big reason as to why I didn't actually make it to the stage this year. So it's just like I had some life events that happened, so I try to figure out how to allocate my energies is probably the best way to describe it. I think at some point, like I'll probably stop competing, which would probably allow more bandwidth towards Ethan and Susanna, but I think I do a decent job of prioritizing like my responsibilities. Like family is always gonna come first. My athletes, last week for Muscle Mayhem, I only trained once because I was working, trying to make sure, because I had 8 athletes competing in it. So I was working overtime to make sure that they're taken care of. So I basically put myself a little bit lower on the priority list in order to make that happen. So I think sometimes I can probably sway too much towards being too responsible for people around me. So I think it's good to be a good selfish. Even at this point of my journey, being 54, I still want to look my best. But I am pretty proud of the fact that it is 40 years. It's kind of unheard of. I'm probably more proud of the longevity aspect than like any title that I've won or anything like that. And also just the fact that the last 15, 16 years as, a 3D Muscle Journey coach, being a part of this team and helping so many other people around the world, it's really cool. At this point, it's not about me as much as it is trying to just pay it forward.